Welcome back, Top Liberty Coins. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins collectors keep talking about, the 1963 D Liberty coin. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you look at the coins in your pocket right now. Let's start with the mystery and excitement surrounding this coin. Many people believe that certain 1963 D coins carry extraordinary value. Stories circulate online claiming prices like $787,976 and more. Numbers like that instantly grab attention, and honestly, who wouldn't be curious? But here's where things get really interesting. The truth behind these claims is even more fascinating than the rumors. The 1963 D coin refers to a coin minted in 1963 at the Denver Mint. The D mark stands for Denver, one of the major minting facilities. Coins from this mint are widely collected, and depending on their condition, rarity, and errors, their value can vary dramatically. Now let's talk about the Liberty part. Many coins in the United States feature the word Liberty, and in 1963, one of the most iconic designs still in circulation was the Washington quarter. This coin shows the profile of George Washington on the front, with the word Liberty clearly displayed above. It's a design that represents history, pride, and national identity, but here's the real question: why would a 1963 D coin ever be worth such a huge amount of money? The answer lies in three powerful factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin that looks brand new, with no scratches, no wear, and full shine, is called mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1963 D coin in average condition might only be worth a small amount, but in near-perfect condition, its value can rise significantly. Rarity is the second factor. Even though millions of coins were minted in 1963, not all of them survived in perfect condition. Over time, coins get damaged, lost, or worn down. Finding a flawless example decades later is extremely difficult, and that's what drives up the price. Now comes the most exciting part: errors. Error coins are like hidden treasures. These are coins that were struck incorrectly during production. Maybe the design is off-center, maybe there's a double image, or maybe the metal composition is unusual. These mistakes are rare, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts to own them. A 1963 D coin with a rare minting error, combined with excellent condition, can indeed reach very high values at auctions. But here's the honest truth: claims of nearly $800,000 are extremely rare and often exaggerated unless the coin is truly one of a kind with extraordinary features. Still, that doesn't mean your coin isn't valuable. Imagine this: somewhere out there, someone finds an old coin in a drawer, ignores it for years, and then discovers it's worth thousands. This happens more often than you think. That's why collectors always say, never underestimate a coin. Let's go deeper into the historical background. The early 1960s were a turning point in coin history. Silver was still used in coins, but big changes were coming. By the mid-1960s, the United States began removing silver from many coins due to rising costs. That means coins from 1963 are among the last to contain significant silver content. This alone adds to their value and desirability. Holding a 1963 coin is like holding a piece of history, a time before major economic shifts changed how money was made. It represents an era of transition, and collectors love coins that tell a story. Now think about this: millions of people handle coins every day without ever checking them closely. What if one of those coins is special? What if it has a rare error or is in exceptional condition? That's the thrill of coin collecting. It turns ordinary moments into treasure hunts. If you want to check your own coins, here's what to look for. First, find the date and mint mark. Look for 1963 and the small d on the coin. Next, examine the condition. Is it shiny? Are the details sharp? Then, look closely for unusual features. Anything that looks different from a normal coin could be important, and remember, even if your coin isn't worth thousands, it still has value. It could be worth more than face value, especially if it contains silver or is well preserved. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Some coins are worth a few cents, while others can change someone's life. The key is knowledge, knowing what to look for and understanding the history behind each coin. So next time you see a coin, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Because hidden in plain sight, there could be something extraordinary, and who knows, maybe that 1963 D coin you have is more than just a coin. Maybe it's a story, a mystery, and possibly, a fortune waiting to be discovered. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about coins in modern collecting, the legendary 1976 D Liberty coin. This coin is not just pocket change. For some collectors, it's a potential treasure hiding in plain sight, and in rare cases, it can be worth an incredible amount of money. Let's begin with something important. When people say Liberty coin, they're often referring to U.S. coins that feature Lady Liberty, a powerful symbol of freedom used across American coinage. The 1976 D coin is especially interesting because it was issued during a very special time in history, the celebration of America's 200th birthday, also known as the bicentennial. The 1976 coins were not ordinary. The United States Mint released special designs for that year to celebrate 200 years of independence since the American Declaration of Independence. Instead of the usual single date, these coins were marked with 1776 to 1976, making them instantly recognizable. Now let's talk specifically about the 1976 D Mint mark. The D stands for Denver, meaning the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Millions of these coins were produced, which means most of them are not rare. But here's where things get exciting. Not all coins are created equal. Certain 1976 D coins have unique features that can make them extremely valuable. These include minting errors, high-grade conditions, and rare varieties. For example, a coin that was never circulated and still shines like new, what collectors call mint state, can be worth significantly more than face value. If the coin also has a rare error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or unusual metal composition, its value can skyrocket. Now you might be wondering about the huge number, $787,976.48. That kind of value is not typical for a standard 1976 D coin. However, in the world of rare coins, extraordinary prices are sometimes achieved under very specific conditions. A coin would need to be nearly perfect, professionally graded at the highest level, and possibly have a unique error or historical significance. These rare pieces are often sold at major auctions, where collectors compete and drive the price higher and higher. Coin grading plays a huge role here. Professional organizations like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company evaluate coins based on condition. A difference of just one grade point can mean thousands of dollars in value. Let's talk about design. The 1976 bicentennial coins often feature iconic imagery. For example, the quarter shows a colonial drummer, symbolizing the Revolutionary War spirit. The half-dollar features Independence Hall. These designs were chosen to reflect pride, history, and national identity. Collectors love these coins not just for their value, but for their story. Every coin is like a time capsule, connecting us to a specific moment in history. When you hold a 1976 D coin, you're holding a piece of the bicentennial celebration, a time when the entire nation looked back on its roots and forward to its future. Now here's the most important part. How do you know if your coin is valuable? Start by checking the mint mark. Look for the D under the year. Next, examine the condition. Is it shiny, with no scratches? Or is it worn out from years of use? Then look for errors, unusual shapes, doubled letters, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. If you think your coin might be special, do not clean it. Cleaning can actually reduce its value. Instead, have it examined by a professional grading service. Also, remember that not every 1976 D coin is worth a fortune. Most are still only worth their face value or slightly more. But the thrill is in the possibility, the idea that something small and ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. Coin collecting is not just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. It's history in your hands. And sometimes, it's real money waiting to be discovered. So next time you find an old coin in your pocket, don't ignore it. take a closer look. Because you never know, you might be holding a hidden gem worth far more than you think. Stay tuned to Coins for more amazing discoveries, rare finds, and the secrets of valuable coins from around the world. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins ever talked about in the collecting world, the legendary 1976 Liberty coin. This coin is not just a piece of metal, it is a story, a symbol, and for some lucky people, it has become a life-changing discovery worth thousands, even rumored values reaching up to $787,976.47. Imagine holding a simple coin in your hand, something that looks ordinary at first glance, but in reality, it carries history, rarity, and hidden value that most people completely ignore. That is exactly what makes Liberty coins so exciting. They are not just currency, they are pieces of time, frozen in metal. The year 1976 is extremely special in American coin history. It marks the bicentennial celebration of the United States, 200 years of independence. During this time, special coins were minted to honor this historic milestone. These coins often feature unique designs, commemorative elements, and limited variations that make them stand out from regular coins. Now when we talk about Liberty coins, we are usually referring to coins that feature Lady Liberty, a powerful symbol of freedom and hope. She has appeared on many U.S. coins over the years, and each version tells its own story. But what makes certain Liberty coins from 1976 so valuable is not just their design, it is the rare errors, minting differences, condition, and extremely limited variations that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for. One of the biggest reasons why some of these coins are worth so much money is mint errors. These errors can include double strikes, off-center designs, missing elements, or unusual metal compositions. Most coins are produced perfectly, but sometimes mistakes happen during the minting process. Instead of being destroyed, a few of these error coins escape into circulation, and that is where the magic begins. Collectors are always searching for these rare mistakes because they are unique. No two error coins are exactly the same. That means if you have one, you are holding something truly one of a kind. And in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness equals value. Another important factor is the condition of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A coin that looks brand new, with no scratches, no wear, and full original shine, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of times more than the same coin in poor condition. This is why collectors carefully store their coins in protective cases to preserve their quality. Now let's talk about something even more exciting, rare variations. Not all 1976 Liberty coins are the same. Some were minted in different locations, such as Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint can produce slightly different versions of the same coin. Sometimes the difference is very small, like a tiny mint mark, but that small detail can make a huge difference in value. There are also special proof coins. These coins are made using a special process that gives them a mirror-like finish. They are not meant for regular circulation, which means they are already rare from the beginning. If you have a 1976 Liberty Proof coin in perfect condition, you could be holding something extremely valuable, but here is where things get even more interesting. Some coins gain value not just because of rarity, but because of demand. If collectors around the world suddenly become interested in a certain coin, its price can skyrocket. This is why coin values are always changing. A coin that was worth a few dollars years ago could now be worth thousands, simply because more people want it. The rumored value of $787,976.47 may sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coins, it is not impossible. There have been coins sold for millions of dollars at auctions. These are usually coins with a combination of extreme rarity, historical importance, and perfect condition. If a 1976 Liberty coin has all these qualities, it could easily reach an incredible price. You might be wondering, how can you tell if your coin is valuable? The first step is to carefully examine it. Look for unusual features, errors, or anything that seems different from a normal coin. Check the date, the design, and any small details. Even a tiny difference can mean a big increase in value. Next, consider getting your coin professionally graded. There are expert organizations that can evaluate your coin and give it an official grade. This not only helps you understand its value, but it also makes it easier to sell if you decide to do so. Another important tip is never clean your coin. Many people think cleaning will make a coin more valuable, but it actually does the opposite. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce its value significantly. Always keep your coins in their original condition. The history behind Liberty coins is what makes them truly special. They represent freedom, strength, and the spirit of a nation. When you hold one, you are not just holding money, you are holding a piece of history. That is why collectors are so passionate about them. Over the years, many people have discovered rare coins in the most unexpected places. Some found them in old jars, others in inherited collections, and some even in everyday pocket change. This means that valuable coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered. So the next time you come across a 1976 coin, do not ignore it. Take a closer look. It might just be one of those rare Liberty coins that collectors are searching for. And who knows, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. It is a journey of discovery, where every coin has a story, and every detail matters. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced collector, there is always something new to learn and explore. If you enjoy uncovering hidden treasures and learning about rare coins, make sure to stay connected with the channel Coins. Because here, we do not just talk about coins, we reveal their secrets, their history, and their true value. And remember, sometimes the smallest things can turn out to be the most valuable. Keep searching, keep learning, and you might just find your own hidden treasure one day. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood treasures in the world of coin collecting, Liberty coins, especially those connected to the year 1980, and how some of them can reach astonishing values that shock even experienced collectors. When people hear Liberty coin, they often think it's just an ordinary old coin. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The word liberty itself has been used on American coins for centuries, symbolizing freedom, independence, and national pride. From early designs featuring Lady Liberty to modern interpretations, these coins are more than currency, they are art, history, and sometimes, hidden gold mines. Now let's focus on something that grabs attention immediately: value. You might have heard claims or seen listings where Liberty coins are priced at incredibly high amounts, sometimes even reaching figures like $787,976.45. That number sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the truth: while not every Liberty coin is worth that much, certain rare versions, errors, or special conditions can push prices into shocking territory. The key is knowing what makes a coin valuable. The year 1980 is especially interesting. At first glance, coins from 1980 don't seem rare. Millions were minted, and many are still in circulation or sitting in old collections. But here's where things get exciting: within those millions, there can be rare variations, minting errors, and exceptionally preserved coins that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. Condition is one of the biggest factors. A coin that looks almost untouched, with sharp details and no scratches, is called mint state. These coins are graded professionally, and higher grades mean higher value. A 1980 Liberty-related coin in perfect or near-perfect condition can be worth far more than its face value, sometimes hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the type. Then comes rarity. Not all coins are created equal. Some may have been minted in smaller numbers at certain locations, like San Francisco or Denver. Coins with special mint marks or limited production runs naturally attract collectors. If a 1980 coin has a rare mint mark or was part of a special release, its value increases significantly. Another factor that can skyrocket the price is minting errors. These are mistakes made during the production process, and collectors absolutely love them. Double strikes, off-center designs, missing elements, or unusual textures can turn a normal coin into a collector's dream. Imagine finding a 1980 Liberty coin with a visible error. That single mistake could multiply its value many times. Now let's talk about history. Liberty coins are deeply connected to American identity. The image of liberty has appeared in many forms, standing, walking, seated, each representing a different era. Even though by 1980 many designs had changed, the legacy of liberty remained strong in coinage. That connection to history adds emotional and cultural value, which collectors are always willing to pay for. There's also something psychological about collecting coins. It's not just about money, it's about the hunt. The idea that a simple coin lying in a drawer or passed down from a relative could be worth thousands creates excitement. People check their coins again and again, hoping to discover that hidden treasure. And sometimes, that hope turns into reality. Now imagine this scenario. You have an old coin collection, maybe inherited or forgotten. You pick up a 1980 coin and take a closer look. At first, nothing seems special. But then you notice something unusual. Maybe the shine is different, maybe the design looks slightly off, or maybe the mint mark is rare. That's the moment everything changes. That coin could go from being worth a few cents to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors today are more active than ever. Online marketplaces, auctions, and coin grading services have made it easier to buy and sell rare coins globally. This increased demand pushes prices higher, especially for coins that are hard to find. A rare Liberty coin doesn't just sit unnoticed anymore, it gets recognized, graded, and often sold at competitive prices. But here's something important: not every claim you see online is real. Some listings show extremely high prices that are not actually confirmed sales. Real value depends on verified transactions, professional grading, and demand. So while numbers like $787,976.45 sound exciting, they usually apply to extremely rare cases or unique coins with extraordinary features. Still, the possibility is what keeps collectors searching. The idea that a small, overlooked coin could change your financial situation is powerful. It turns a simple hobby into an adventure. And Liberty coins, with their rich history and wide variety, are at the center of that adventure. If you want to start exploring, the first step is simple: check your coins carefully. Look at the year, the condition, the mint mark, and any unusual details. Even a small difference can mean something big. Then compare it with known valuable coins, or consider getting it professionally evaluated. Coin collecting is not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the thrill of finding something rare. Liberty coins represent all of that in one small piece of metal. Whether you are a beginner or already interested in coins, there's always something new to learn and possibly something valuable waiting to be found. And who knows, maybe right now, somewhere in your home, there's a 1980 coin quietly sitting, waiting for you to realize its true worth. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about collectibles in the coin world, Liberty coins, especially those connected to the 1980 era and the incredible market prices they can reach today. Stay with me, because what starts as a simple coin story will turn into a journey through history, mystery, and serious money. Let's begin with the idea of liberty itself. The word liberty on a coin is not just decoration. It represents freedom, independence, and the identity of a nation. For decades, liberty has been featured on American coins in many forms: standing, walking, seated, each design telling a different chapter of history. These coins were not just currency, they were symbols of power, resilience, and national pride. Now let's fast forward to the late 20th century, around 1980. At first, you might think coins from this period are too modern to be valuable. But that's where most people are wrong. While millions of coins were produced in 1980, only a very small number have the specific qualities that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for. What makes a Liberty coin valuable is not just its age. It's a combination of rarity, mint errors, condition, and demand. A coin that looks identical to another might be worth $1, while the other could be worth thousands. Why? Because of tiny details, a misprint, a rare mint mark, or an unusual strike. Now let's talk about condition. In the coin world, condition is everything. A coin that has never been used, never scratched, and still shines like new is called mint condition. These coins are graded by professionals, and the highest grades can push prices to unbelievable levels. A Liberty coin from around 1980 in perfect condition could sell for far more than you would expect, but here's where things get really exciting. Error coins are like accidents that turned into treasure. During the minting process, sometimes things go wrong. A design might be slightly off-center. A letter might be missing. The metal might be struck twice. These mistakes are extremely rare, and collectors love them. In fact, some of the most expensive coins in the world are error coins. There have been cases where coins similar in type and era have reached astonishing values, even approaching figures like $787,976.44 depending on rarity and demand. That's not just money, that's life-changing wealth from something that could fit in your pocket. Now imagine this. Somewhere out there, in old drawers, forgotten boxes, or even in everyday circulation, there could still be undiscovered coins waiting to be found. People spend them without realizing their value. They ignore them. They overlook them, but not you, because now you know what to look for. When checking a Liberty coin, pay attention to the date. Look closely at 1980 coins. Then check the mint mark, small letters that indicate where the coin was produced. Look for anything unusual. Is the design perfectly centered? Are there any strange marks or double prints? Does the coin look sharper than usual? Even small differences can mean big money. Let's talk about history again for a moment. Liberty designs have evolved over time, and each version has its own collector base. Some people focus only on older Liberty coins, while others specialize in modern rare finds. The market is always changing, and prices can rise quickly when demand increases. The coin market is not just about age, it's about storytelling. Every coin has a story. Where it was minted. How it was used. How it survived. And how it ended up in someone's collection. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, and here's something very important: authentication. If you believe you have a rare Liberty coin, never sell it immediately. Get it checked by a professional grading service. A certified coin can be worth much more than an unverified one. Without proper grading, you might lose thousands of dollars. Now think about this carefully. A single coin, something most people ignore, could be your entry into a completely different financial world. People have built collections worth millions just by understanding these small details. So next time you see a coin, don't just spend it. Look at it. Study it. Question it, because hidden inside that small piece of metal could be a story worth more than gold, and that's what makes coin collecting so powerful. It turns ordinary people into treasure hunters. It transforms everyday objects into historical artifacts. And sometimes, it rewards curiosity with unbelievable value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Liberty coins and want to learn how to spot more hidden treasures, make sure you stay connected with coins. Because the next coin we talk about might be the one sitting in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of Liberty coins, where history, rarity, and hidden value come together in a way that most people completely overlook. When we talk about Liberty coins, we are not talking about just one coin. We are talking about a whole family of American coins that feature the iconic image of Lady Liberty, a symbol of freedom, strength, and identity. Some of the most famous include the Liberty Head Nickel, the Walking Liberty Half Dollar, and the Liberty Head Double Eagle. Each of these coins carries not just metal, but a story. Let's go back in time. In the 1800s, the United States wanted coins that represented the spirit of the nation. That's when Lady Liberty began appearing on coins. She wasn't just decoration, she symbolized hope, independence, and the future of a growing country. Over time, different designs of Liberty were created, each more detailed and artistic than the last. Now here's where things get interesting. Some Liberty coins, especially older ones, are extremely rare today. Why? Because many were melted down, lost, or simply used in daily transactions without anyone realizing their future value. Coins from certain years, mint marks, or production errors became incredibly scarce, and scarcity is what drives value. Take the year 1980. You might think a coin from 1980 isn't that old. And you'd be right. But collectors don't just look at age, they look at condition, errors, and uniqueness. A Liberty-style coin or commemorative piece connected to Liberty imagery from around that era can still carry value if it has special features, but here's the truth most people don't know: some coins that look completely normal can have tiny minting errors, misprints, double strikes, off-center designs, and those errors can turn a coin worth a few cents into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And then there are legendary cases. There have been coins discovered in everyday change jars, old drawers, or inherited collections that turned out to be worth massive amounts. While the number $.787.97646 might sound unusual, it reflects something important. Coin values can fluctuate based on collector demand, auction excitement, and global interest. A coin's price is not always fixed. It can rise dramatically when the right buyer appears. Now imagine this: you go through your old coins at home. You find a Liberty coin. It looks old, slightly worn, maybe nothing special. But then you notice a small detail, a mint mark, a design variation, or even a slight error. That moment could change everything, because in the world of coin collecting, details are everything. Collectors spend years studying coins, learning about engravers, mint locations, historical periods, and production changes. Even the smallest variation can mean the difference between a common coin and a rare treasure. Condition is another powerful factor. Coins are graded on a scale. A coin in perfect condition, known as mint state, can be worth many times more than the same coin that is scratched or worn. That's why some Liberty coins sell for huge amounts. They survive decades in near-perfect condition. Gold and silver content also plays a role. Many Liberty coins were made from precious metals. So even if a coin isn't rare, it can still have value based on the current market price of gold or silver. And when rarity and precious metal combine, the value can skyrocket. Now let's talk about demand. The coin market is driven by collectors. When a particular Liberty coin becomes popular, its value can rise quickly. Auctions, collector trends, and historical interest all influence prices. Some coins suddenly gain attention and their value jumps overnight. And here's something powerful to remember: most valuable coins were once ordinary. They were used in shops, carried in pockets, and exchanged without a second thought. The people who used them had no idea they might one day be worth a fortune. That's why checking your coins matters. Look closely. Check the year. Look for mint marks. Notice any unusual details. Compare designs. Because hidden among common coins, there can be something truly rare. The story of Liberty coins is not just about money. It's about history. It's about art. It's about discovering value where others see nothing. Every Liberty coin carries a piece of the past, a connection to a time when craftsmanship and symbolism mattered deeply, and today, those same coins continue to capture attention all over the world. So the next time you see an old coin, don't ignore it. Today we're diving deep into one of the something as common looking as a 1982 coin can spark huge excitement in the coin collecting world. Let's start with something important. When people say Liberty coin, they're usually talking about classic American coins that feature Lady Liberty, symbols of freedom, strength, and national identity. Some of the most famous examples include the Liberty head nickel, the walking Liberty half dollar, and the Morgan silver dollar. These coins are not just money, they are pieces of history. Now here's where things get really interesting. You mentioned 1982, and that year is actually one of the most fascinating years in modern coin history. Why? Because 1982 was a transition year for U.S. pennies. The United States Mint changed the composition of the penny from mostly copper to zinc with a thin copper coating. That means some 1982 pennies are copper, and others are zinc, and this small difference can mean a huge jump in value. Collectors are always hunting for rare variations. In 1982, there were multiple versions of the 1-cent coin: large date, small date, copper, zinc, and even differences in mint marks. Among these, one of the rarest and most valuable is the 1982 D small date copper penny. That coin is extremely rare, and if you happen to find one in good condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Now imagine this. You're going through your old coins, maybe coins saved in a jar or passed down from family, and suddenly you spot a 1982 coin. At first glance, it looks completely normal. But if you know what to check, the date, style, the weight, and the mint mark, you might be holding something very valuable. The copper version weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs only 2.5 grams. That tiny difference is one of the biggest clues collectors use. A simple digital scale can turn an ordinary coin into a potential treasure, but let's talk about value, because that's what really excites everyone. Most 1982 pennies are worth only a few cents. However, rare variations, especially in excellent condition, can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on demand. Some claims online suggest extremely high values like hundreds of thousands of dollars, but those prices usually apply only to ultra-rare coins, mint errors, or coins in near-perfect condition graded by professionals. So where does the idea of a coin being worth something like $787,976.43 come from? That level of value is typically reserved for legendary coins, coins with extreme rarity, historical importance, or unique minting errors. While it's unlikely for a standard 1982 coin to reach that exact number, the possibility of finding a rare variation still makes it incredibly exciting for collectors, and that's the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into mysteries waiting to be solved. Every scratch, every detail, every tiny difference can change a coin's story, and its value. Let's go deeper into history for a moment. Liberty has been a central figure on American coins since the late 1700s. She represents freedom and independence, and over the years her design has evolved in many artistic forms. From flowing hair designs to seated figures and walking poses, each version reflects the spirit of its time. Coins like the Walking Liberty $50 are especially loved because of their beauty. Designed in 1916, it shows Liberty walking confidently toward the sunrise, wrapped in the American flag. This design was so iconic that it was later reused for the American Silver Eagle bullion coin. Then there's the Morgan Silver Dollar, minted from 1878 to 1904 and again in 1921. This coin is one of the most collected in the world. Some rare Morgan dollars have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. Compared to those, a 1982 coin might seem modern and ordinary, but that's exactly what makes it exciting. Because rare coins don't always look rare. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight. Imagine how many people have handled a 1982 penny without realizing what to look for. Millions of coins were produced that year, but only a small number have the rare characteristics collectors want. That's why knowledge is power in coin collecting. If you want to start checking your own coins, here's what you should focus on. Look closely at the date, whether it's large or small. Check for a mint mark, like D for Denver. Use a scale to check the weight. And most importantly, examine the condition. Coins with fewer scratches and more original shine are always worth more. Another important factor is grading. Professional grading services evaluate coins and assign them a condition score. A coin graded near perfect can sell for many times more than the same coin in average condition. And here's something most beginners don't realize: sometimes errors make coins more valuable. Misprints, double strikes, off-center designs, these mistakes can turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. So while not every 1982 coin will make you rich, the possibility is always there. And that possibility is what keeps collectors searching, learning, and exploring. Think about it. A single coin, something so small and ordinary, could carry decades of history and potentially be worth a life-changing amount of money. That's not just collecting, that's treasure hunting. So next time you see a coin, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Because hidden in your pocket, your drawer, or your old savings box, there might be a story waiting to be discovered, and maybe even a fortune waiting to be unlocked, and that's the magic of Liberty coins and rare coins from years like 1982. They remind us that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest details, waiting for the right person to notice. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating topics in the world of rare coins, the legendary Liberty coins, their history, their hidden value, and why collectors across the globe are willing to pay unbelievable prices for them. When people hear the name Liberty coin, they often think of classic American designs that symbolize freedom, power, and history. Coins featuring Lady Liberty have been minted in the United States for over a century, and some of these pieces are now among the most valuable collectibles in the world. One of the most famous among them is the Liberty Head nickel, a coin that tells a story of mystery, rarity, and incredible value. Let's talk about something important right away. Many people search for coins from 1986 and wonder if they could be extremely valuable. The truth is, most 1986 coins are not rare by default. However, certain factors can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. Minting errors, limited production, unusual metal compositions, and pristine condition can multiply a coin's value dramatically. A coin from 1986 with a rare error or in perfect uncirculated condition could be worth far more than its face value. Now imagine discovering that a coin in your collection could be worth not just a few dollars, but thousands. This is exactly what keeps collectors searching, examining, and hunting for hidden treasures every single day. The history behind Liberty coins is what makes them so captivating. These coins were designed during a time when artistry and symbolism were deeply respected. Lady Liberty, often shown wearing a crown or a coronet, represents freedom and strength. Early versions of Liberty coins date back to the 19th century, and over time, the designs evolved while still preserving their iconic identity. One of the most exciting aspects of Liberty coins is their connection to real historical moments. These coins were in circulation during periods of economic change, wars, and industrial growth. Every scratch, every mark on an old coin could represent a piece of history that passed through countless hands over decades. Collectors are especially interested in coins that are rare or unusual. For example, some Liberty coins were produced in very limited numbers. Others became rare due to mistakes made during the minting process. These mint errors can include double strikes, off-center designs, or missing elements. Such imperfections actually increase the value because they make the coin unique. Now let's talk about value, the part everyone is most curious about. Some Liberty coins have sold for staggering amounts. While most coins you find will not reach extreme prices, there are cases where rare Liberty coins have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even though a figure like $787,976.42 sounds very specific, real auction prices depend on condition, rarity, demand, and authentication. Condition is everything in the coin world. A coin that looks brand new, with no scratches or wear, is called mint state, and these coins are highly valuable. On the other hand, a worn coin may still have value, but it will usually be much lower. That's why collectors use grading systems to evaluate coins carefully. Another important factor is authentication. Many fake coins exist in the market, especially when it comes to rare Liberty designs. Serious collectors always rely on professional grading services to confirm whether a coin is genuine. Without proper authentication, even a rare-looking coin may have little to no value. Now let's go back to 1986. That year is especially known for the release of modern bullion coins like the American Silver Eagle. While these coins are not Liberty head coins in the traditional sense, they still feature Liberty imagery and are highly popular among investors and collectors. A standard 1986 Silver Eagle usually carries value based on silver content, but special editions or perfect condition coins can be worth significantly more. What makes coin collecting so exciting is the possibility that anyone could discover something valuable. Coins are everywhere, in drawers, old boxes, inherited collections, or even loose change. Most people overlook them, but collectors see potential treasures. Imagine finding a coin that others ignored, only to discover it has a rare feature. Maybe the date is slightly off, maybe the design is unique, or maybe it was part of a limited batch. That moment of discovery is what makes this hobby so addictive. Another reason Liberty coins are so desirable is their beauty. The detailed artwork, the craftsmanship, and the historical significance all combine to create something truly special. Unlike modern coins, many older Liberty coins were designed with incredible attention to detail, making them feel more like art than currency. collectors also love the stories behind these coins. Some Liberty coins have mysterious origins, especially those with extremely low mintages. Others were never meant to be released but somehow made their way into circulation. These stories add an extra layer of excitement and intrigue. The market for rare coins is constantly changing. Prices go up and down based on demand, global interest, and economic conditions. Sometimes a coin that was worth a few $100s years ago can suddenly skyrocket in value due to increased demand or new discoveries. If you're thinking about checking your own coins, start by looking closely at dates, designs, and mint marks. Use a magnifying glass if needed. Small details can make a big difference. A tiny variation could turn an ordinary coin into something collectors are searching for. Also, never clean old coins. This is one of the biggest mistakes beginners make. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value significantly because collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look dirty or worn. So what should you do if you think you found something valuable? The best step is to consult a professional or send the coin to a grading service. They can evaluate it, authenticate it, and give you a proper estimate of its value. The world of Liberty coins is vast, fascinating, and full of surprises. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, there's always something new to discover. Every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than you could ever imagine.